Welcome back, shoemakers, to Straight Out of Mushin. Some people think say I don't abandon this project, but of course.
Me, I know the green like Donald Trump. Smacking that.
So today we go use the main form where we been done create for the first two videos. We go use and create a special kind of shoe where they call monk strap. To begin, make I first of all show owner things where we know about this main form. Last length na 35 cm and heel height na 2 cm. The equipment, materials, and all the etc. things we will go use to create the pattern of our monk strap. We no forget the buckle too. Now, let us begin. First of all, we go draw our customary traditional right angle. You just draw one horizontal line and another vertical line to connect with them. Then we go mark the heel height on the vertical line of the right angle. Mark them there like so. Then we go place the heel of our mean form on that heel height point and the ball on the horizontal line and trace out the mean form. We no go forget to mark in our counterpoint and also our van point. So counterpoint na the one way there for back there. The last length, like I talked before, na 35 cm. So we go do some calculations. Many of una know they like calculation. Una know like mass. No be serious calculation, na just division. First calculation, na the last length divided by 5. 35 divided by 5 na 7. So you see the height of our counterpoint there na 7. If we add 1 cm or 0.5 cm between 1 cm and just in that range, it will give us our back height. Now the shoe wey we want design with this. So the next calculation we go need to do na 35 divided by 4. We give us 8.75 cm. So from our van point here, we go mark on top of the center line, they go up. That one go give us another point where they call the instep. Then we go join our van point to our ball to get the vamp line. We go divide that vamp line into 2 and then draw one line from the counterpoint to the middle of that vamp line like so. And then another line from the back height to the same point. The first line where we draw na the quarter line, the second one na the top line. So this quarter line, we go divide them into 2. Measure and divide them into 2 and mark the division. Then we go join our instep to that division point and then it will give us the second part of our top line. Now we find the division of the last length by 8, will give us 4.37. Now the rule of quarters where I don't they preach, they sing like canary sings. Now say everything where they run from back to front or front to back, now 1/4 of the last length. The one where they run from up to down, 1/8. So from the back height, we go mark 8.75 on the top line, 1/4 of the last length. They run from back to front. And then from this top line where they start from the counterpoint here, we go mark 1/8 of the last length, which is 4.375, because they go from up to down. So those 2 points give us indications of where we go use curving the rest of the top line. So if you use your French curve like this, you can curve this 2 in like this and your top line don't finish. See that? Now let us draw from the van point to the tip and from the van point to the instep, convert all of that curve to straight line. Rule of quarters again, to do the cap toe or toe cap, whichever you want color. From the tip to that place like that, 1/4 of the last length, they run from front to back. Now we go use do the cap toe. I add an extra 0.5 cm and then from there I draw right angle. The reason why I add an extra 0.5 cm be say exactly that point where it be 1/4 of the last length. Now I want curve my cap toe reach. Then this one where they run from up to down, I go mark 1/8 of the last length. And then from that point, I also have another indication point where I go use curve in my capto, make it not just be straight line, but it is now a curve. See it? So my capto, the capto of our monk strap is actually finished. Now, a monk strap is basically a derby that somebody tried to convert into a sandal. So we go start about 1 cm above our van point and draw a right angle from there. With that, we will begin to design the facing of our derby. Now, this point, they run up from up to down, so 1/8 of the last length, that's 4.75. If we mark that 4.75, you go see it is almost the same length with the point, the middle of that, the point where it intersects with that our top line there. So we could just use that point where it intersects with the top line there. It won't be out of proportion, just an extra 1 cm added to it. Then we could divide the distance between the middle of the top line and that point. We could divide them into two. And then this point from the heel on the feather edge, you go also mark 1/4 of the last length, 8.75 on the feather edge like this. And that gives us an indication of where we can curve in. As you see, that heel there, that's about 1/4 of the last length. So we want the quarter of our monk strap to terminate there. So that point there will be the point where if we place our French curve, we can basically curve that curve of our quarter. So typically this curve, whether they design monk strap or they design derby, this curve they like make it at least be at least 3 cm apart from the top line. So I measure and it is 3 cm. If for say you know reach 3 cm, I for just cheat a little bit, place my French curve like this and then draw another curve until I have it at least 3 cm apart from the top line. So the quarter, the toe cap of our monk strap is complete. And meanwhile, the derby is almost complete. Make I quickly outline all of the parts we don't complete, make you see them clear. So that part is complete. The top line is complete, the curve of the top line. And the straight lines on the top line, all of them also don't complete. So you see, say, this derby shoe is almost finished. If it was a derby, you would do a curve at the top here, and then also do a top at the bottom of the facing there. And then, of course, you go ahead and add your eyelets. We are not designing derby, but make I just give you this one as bonus. If to say what you want design at derby. So that tongue there, about 1 cm above the instep, we draw the curve of the tongue, draw a line parallel to the center line from there, and then just give it about 2 cm to where it connects back to the curve of the quarter. Then of course you don't want things to be straight lines, so you can just add a curve like this to make everything okay. Now this angle here is a very important angle in derbies and in monk strap, because that is where the quarter and the vamp connect. So this is the cap toe. This point where you see, this part where you see like that, now the vamp, and that part like that, now the quarter. So this is a 3-piece derby where they see. To add the eyelets, I typically they do my eyelets about 1.2 cm away from the center line. I draw a straight line like that. You can, expand a bit, flare out towards the outside a bit as they go downwards. So you draw that line, measure that line, and divide them into two. Then subdivide those two parts again into two to get your classic 5 eyelets of a derby. I don't begin the blow grammar again, no, make I revert back to my pigeon. So if this was a derby, the derby don't complete. Everything about your derby design is in here. You have your capto, you have your vamp, you have your quarter, you've added your eyelets, and even every part done complete. Sempe. So wetin remain na To convert this derby now to monk strap, but before I do that, there's something, a cheat what I want to do here. You know, for all this type of lasts where the center line, this curve of the center line no too dey steep, you can actually do away with springing the vamp. So if you draw a straight line from the instep to the point where it connects to the capto, the distance is just about the distance of that curve where the curve separate from your that line where you draw now, just about 1 mm. The stretch of leather can take care of them. And with that straight line, it obviates the need for me to do any springing. Now, this is a rough design of the facing flap of this our monk strap. No mind this one. This one na swagbe. I want first of all cut out all of the parts wey correspond with derby. Then we go truly design the facing flap of our monk strap. So forget this one where you see like this. As I tell you na swagbe. We go still do the one wey be go. So calm down first. This one I been just want to do small experiment, but I don't do the bad one. So first of all, make we cut out all of the parts of everything where we don't already do, so that it go clean for eye, and then you go see as everything they go. Road clear, no police. So make we begin cut out all of the pattern pieces. First of all, we go cut out the capto. So to duplicate the capto, we fold paper into two, place them on the straight edge of that paper, leave enough room where we go add our lasting allowance, and then mark out the capto. So we'll mark them out like this, add 2 cm. I usually they tell beginners, just use 2 cm. Me, typically, I go use 1.5 or even 1.2 cm for my lasting allowance. But as a beginner, just to give yourself enough room for pulling, use 2 cm. As you perfect your lasting and your shoemaking skills, you can use 1.5 or 1.3 cm as the case may be. So our capto done set. Make we do the vamp. So we fold paper into two again, place that tongue to vamp area, and then use a chuku object like that to chook out the parts of the vamp. I no begin one mark tracing channels here. As at the point where they film this part, night don dey reach and sleep been done they catch me. So I say make I just use chook out all of the parts instead of to begin cut tracing channels. So I don't chook out all of the parts. So this is the vamp of our pattern. Now, of course, you know, say this part for front here, now where the capto go join, so we go need to add tracing allowance for that front there. And of course, underneath, we go also need to add lasting allowance. Then this part where the quarter go also sit on top of the vamp, we add another stitching allowance for that side. After we don't add all of these allowances, we cut out our vamp pattern. Now this part for middle here where the quarter go sit on top of the vamp, very important. No ever forget to mark them. If you forget, you no go know where you go need to sit your quarter on top of your vamp, and then the neck of your derby or your mug strap go begin bend, like say na chicken wey harmattan sickness they catch. So let us cut the quarter. So the first part of the quarter, we go just mark them out. Then we go also use that our same chook out all of the parts of the quarter. Once we don't chook them out, we go still go ahead and trace them. You remember say I tell you say a monk strap na just derby where they add buckle straps and flap onto. So we go just this quarter, we go basically duplicate them into two. Then the design of our buckle flap where we design, we go just glue them on top of the quarter and finish. On one side of the quarter, actually the medial side of the quarter. And once we don't do that one, our monk strap don't finish. So the reason why they always like teach people how to create this monk strap is say if you learn how to create monk strap, then invariably, you know how to make derbies. So this one now 2-in-1 class. So this is one of the quarter. This is where the holes of the button go there. So you see, I don't use that place like that. Set where my buckles go there. So this same quarter what I duplicate them into 2. Now this outside part like this, we go now design the flap of our monster. I've been tell you say this first design what I do here I no like them. Make I show you how I do the correct one where I go finally use. So you see, I want make the buckle align with the line of that my quarter there. And then for this one we go there around the top line like this angle where the 2 top lines make, I go divide them into 2, and where they intersect go also now be where I go place my buckle. So I go basically use that tongue line where you see for up there, draw them such that, you know, I go use them as my references to connect to the rest of the flap of this monster. So make I clean out that old design, make it no dey confusing. So just watch them, you go understand wetin I dey do here. So you see that place like this, you make them into curve, and this place like that, you also curve them down a little bit. So basically, the point where the buckle for around the top line be, now where now the reference where I use now where the 2 top lines intersect, and then for this one where they under, now just to elongate that line of the quarter, that facing line of the quarter. And basically, ladies and gentlemen, the facing flap of our monk strap done set. So I go use that same chuku chook out this facing flap like this. Once I chook them out, wetin remain na to draw them, and then I go use tape join the 2 of them together. Join them to the medial side of my derby quarter to now convert it into a true monk strap. So make I quickly just cut out this pattern, then I go use tape join them. Some people they say something where you go use freehand sketch, you dey use French curve. I no be artist, I no sabi sketch. Those of una wey sabi sketch, una no know wetin God don do for una. Me, I no sabi sketch. Na why I dey do my calculation o, and then I dey also use my French curve, and e dey work for me. If you fit do freehand sketching, God don bless you. Go ahead and use the skill that God gave you. Me, I go dey use my French curve and my calculations. So you see, now like this, you go finally dey. Excuse me, when we do them. So I go place them like this, and then I go use tape, secure them in place. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the facing flap of our monk strap done finish. Just secure everything in place so that you no go pull when you use the pattern. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I see say this monk strap now basically a derby shoe where they add a sandal flap on top of the quarter. So our pattern done set, ladies and gentlemen. The next now to begin cut out the leather uppers, and that will be on the next class. This video, like I said, is sponsored by the Cobblers and Leather Artisans Association of Nigeria. They organize their national leadership conference by the end of this month, and I encourage you to donate any amount where you fit towards that effort. Links to donate will be in the description. Until I see you guys next time, God bless you. See you on the next one. Peace.